Welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft Season 8 server. Guys, look how absurdly big the moon is. This thing is insane looking. I gotta know what's going on. We may do some investigating today and try to figure that out, but we got a lot to do in today's episode. We're doing some new stuff around the base, making a new shop. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but look at this. Look at it, just, it's insane. I can't even barely get it in the screen at this point. Every time I sign on to the server, it just gets bigger and bigger. It's insane. So for the question of the day today, what do you think, or who do you think is behind the moon getting so big? I have seen a lot of conspiracy theories out there talking about how it's Evil X, how it's this person, that person. Let me know what you think. Me personally, I think it's Doc M, the Hermitcraft. I think Doc has done something and he has doomed us. I really think so. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. We got a lot to do in today's episode. It's going to be a lot of fun, but before we do that, a quick word from today's video sponsor. I would like to thank today's sponsor, Monumenta MMO. That name may sound familiar to you because they are the people that provide the technical solutions and hosting for the popular Clash of the Creators series all of your favorite creators have been in. What you may not know though is that Monumenta has an epic MMO RPG styled Minecraft server. Monumenta's Minecraft server has completely custom terrain throughout that you can interact with, just like in survival Minecraft. But be wary, because every week when they come out with a new content update, this terrain refreshes. During your time on this amazing server, you're going to have the opportunity to find over 200 mini dungeons and over 1,000 custom items. While you're playing, you'll have the opportunity to play as a custom class. There are 7 of these classes, none being overpowered to the game itself, and are very unique. Aside from the main CTM quest that you'll be playing, Monumenta also offers RPG style content, with things such as permanent player housing and shops, custom boss fights, treasure hunts, and daily bounties. With over 100 hours of content ready for you to explore, be sure to check out the IP on screen or in the description so you can play today. Thank you again to Monumenta MMO for sponsoring today's video. So I signed on to the server today and I noticed that there's an upside down llama in my base. Let's take a look at what this is. Shop at the Pad Llamaco in Bodum today. Ooh, I don't know about all that. I'm more of an evil Emporium type of guy myself, but hey, you never know. We've got to figure out what is going on with the moon. So the first thing we got to do, if we're going to learn about the moon, we have got to build a slime scope. Now, what is a slime scope, you ask? Well, a slime scope is like the most fancy, high-tech piece of machinery that you're ever going to see in your entire life. So let's get started with the build. So to build the slime scope, the first thing we need to do is we need to lay down a base layer of slime. This is going to give us ultimate slimeage when we look at the moon. From there, we need to place down 2 glass blocks. This is going to give us the ultra slime magnification that we need to be able to look at the moon. From there, we've got to place down glass panes on every side. This is going to allow us to get maximum something. From there, we need to add 3 more slime blocks. This is going to give us maximum slimeage. Now we need to power our slime scope. Now to do that, obviously, we've got to use magic crystals. No other way about it. Now to make this thing perfect, we need to add 1 slime ball. This will add the maximum amount of slime magnification that we need to properly measure the moon. Ah, it's beautiful. So the slime scope was very successful in capturing an image of the moon. As you can see, very scientific stuff. I pondered and pondered. Now, there's one thing that I've got to tell you about the slime scope. It doesn't measure in normal measurement scale. The only way it can actually measure is in banana scale. So as you can see on screen now, we have approximately 4 3/4 banana moon. Now, in a couple days, when we decide to measure the moon again with our slime scope, we will see just how much banana has grown on the moon. So then we can do some very complicated mathematics and say, very interesting, quite a few times. And once that is done, we will know, ooh, shakies. Oh boy. Once that is done, we will have a good idea of how fast the moon is growing. Now, because I'm not smart, I have no idea what to do with that information. But I know that the people watching this are going to extrapolate all of the bananas and everything like that and figure out exactly what's going on here. It's just not the same looking at the sun as it is looking at the moon. I miss the moon. So prepare your banana scales and get them ready because we're gonna need to do some math soon. So the science portion of today's episode is now done. I actually want to get into a new build, so we're going to start a new project. So the first project we are going to be doing today is actually making a new shop. Then we're going to get into a farm to help stock that shop. So let's get going. I hope everybody enjoyed that build. This is our brand new rocket shop. I've made sort of a big crater in the ground with a launch pad with 3 big rockets over top. I think it's pretty obvious what we're selling here. I think the build turned out quite well, to be honest with you. I really like it. So the final touches that we are going to do for this build are hide some campfires underneath of the concrete powder. So let's do that really quickly. So one thing that I actually learned about Minecraft the other day is that if you put hay bales underneath of the campfires, they actually go taller. I had no idea that was a thing. Literally, did you guys know that was a thing? Because I had no idea that was a thing. So we will pick a few just random spots throughout. It does not need to be perfect. There we go. And then we'll do one more tall one over here. Actually, oh, right here will be perfect. Let's do that. Okay, get a campfire in there. Rendog left the game. I'm sad to see my man go. And then one more short one right over here. Maybe right here will do. Perfect. Okay, so let's get our campfire. Oh, that's not the right thing. Campfire in there. Cover that up. That'll give it a little bit of a shorter look since it's down a little bit further. So now that the campfires are in there, to finish this build off, I just need to set myself on fire. And all right, so let's go through and just put some different spots of fire throughout the build. And so the next part of this is to stock the shop with a lot of rockets, because that's probably one of the hottest commodities on the server. People always need those. And so what we're going to do is, like I mentioned, we're going to sell these for cheaper than what everybody else is selling them, which means we're going to need a lot of them. So I need to make a sugarcane farm next. So before we can stock our shop and get everything ready, we need to get the supply of sugarcane flowing in. So I'm going to do something I've not done really ever before. I'm going to continue the time lapse that I just did with the same music, and you'll see what I mean once it starts. If you guys like that type of time lapse, let me know, but we're going to get into the build for that now. I gotta apologize. I'm kind of losing my voice, but regardless, I am pretty much ready to go with building the farms. So we're building sugarcane here, and it's going to be very straightforward. I'm going to have 3 storage chests. Now, one thing that I really wanted to do with these storage chests was put indicator lights in as to when they had items. But when you do this, you need lines of 15 redstone, and honestly, there's just not enough space back here. Especially with how close the lamps would have been, because we would have had double chests facing long ways and then lamps right next to it, and I just didn't really think that there was enough room. Now, if you want to prove me wrong and try to figure that problem out, feel free, because I would really like that. So one thing that I want to quickly test is I've got this composter here. And oh, by the way, I want to quickly mention the reason why I'm not doing a bigger sugarcane farm. I've got a lot of sugarcane already. I don't really need more of it. So, okay, so you can do that. I wasn't sure if you could compost sugarcane or not, but now that I know you can, what we'll do is we'll run a central hopper line with the hoppers just flowing into the back of the chests, and then we'll have a composter output back here. So let's just say lamp, you, and then get rid of this, and then I have other chests, but we'll just literally do it like this, and then the sugarcane will flow in and just make us bone meal. So if we decide to keep doing it and it, you know, starts to overflow, we've got ourselves a bone meal farm, which is perfect. But I've got so much sugarcane already. Making rockets for this new shop should be pretty straightforward. So for the most part, the rest of this is very simple. We just have to build a very basic automated sugarcane farm and then get the rest of the design done. Now, this back wall is not going to be finished this episode, and there's a reason for that. I'm actually going to be putting something else in and possibly extending the room even further. I know, very exciting stuff. You're like, wow, you're talking about extending farms, Jevin. You're cool, man. Anyways, I've got some work to do. I will cut back when I have some progress. Sugarcane farm is pretty much finished. Now, remember, we're not doing the back portion of this today because I am saving that. I have another project in mind. So as far as the design goes, we continued the same thing that we had, but when it came to being underneath of the farm here, I just wrapped it around and then added some lights and continued the sort of random-esque feng shui design that we do. This is all completely automated, so whenever we get sugarcane, it just goes right into the chests there. It's very straightforward. Like I said, I really wanted to put indicator lights in there, but I don't know. So I'm going to tell you guys about a mistake that I made just to prove that I'm not perfect. For some reason, when I was building this room, I maybe started out on the wrong block and just it kind of snowballed, right? So if I were to grab some rockets and go, maybe this one, I'm not sure. Yeah, this one right here. You see how this is flat right here? Well, this one is actually one block in. Or out, I should say. I'm not sure how I managed to do it. Everything out here lines up just fine, but this portion where I started the build, technically speaking, should be over one block. But I'm not redoing this whole room because it took an extraordinary amount of time to build this. So I'm not perfect, just to let you know, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. I think what I'll probably end up doing right up there is putting some deep slate slabs in. So anyways, I want to do another thing in today's video. We're going to go ahead and work on the kelp farm a little bit more because I messed that up pretty badly. Okay, so the kelp farm has all of the signs placed and I've got a setup for getting the water all finished. Let's see how well this goes because I don't have a strong feeling about this. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to get the central line of water in. So this part is pretty straightforward. We just what's going on here, guys? Are we not making sources anymore? Sources of water not a thing? Am I gonna have to use ice? Because I can use ice. Oh, that's a really bad shake. Wow, it's getting worse. Okay, well, I was hoping that I would be able to place water down. Bro, that is so weird. Why is it doing that? Okay, well, 2 minutes. I am back with a fortune pickaxe because I only use silk touch. But so the first thing we got to do is we've got to break this to make sure that all of our water gets flowing down so the kelp will be collected. So let's do that. Get rid of you. Okay, pretty straightforward stuff here. I'm curious to see how it's going to act when it gets to that spot. There we go. Like, I have no idea if this is gonna work, by the way. I'm totally winging it right now. There we go. So that is all of but the last spot. So there we go. Okay, so the water has all been placed down. I kind of assumed that was going to happen, but it's not a big deal. So now the next part of this is to remove all of the dirt. And you'll notice that I have the ice here to make sources once I'm done with the dirt. So I got to get rid of the dirt now. Okay, so now it is time to hopefully make a whole bunch of water sources here. And I'm using the wrong pickaxe. I'm good at this game. All right, time to use our fortune pickaxe. So it is, my plan is working the way I wanted it to. Perfect. So we'll get all of these broken. So there should be full sources of water underneath of there. Everything is getting collected. So the only portion that we're having a little bit of problems with is just right over here. I will have to fix that. Interesting. I gotta figure out how to fix that. Okay, get rid of all of these ice blocks. But for some reason, it's not overflowing right here. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh boy, this is so bad right now. I just did our first test and everything seems to be working very, very well now, which is great because I think I'm finally done with the Kelp Farm. It only took forever. Take these arrows out of there. There's probably going to be a lot of dirt in there too because I've broken so much dirt. And by the way, I have decided to actually start using kelp for this. We have been smelting the kelp. It's built up. I just have so much of it that it would be silly not to use it. And like I said, I've smelted quite a bit. So once the dirt is done filling up, I want to take that out of there. Let me get the dirt out of this one. Oh, pretty much all of that out of there. There we go. So in terms of our armor, there we go. In terms of our armor, let's stand on the pressure plate. Okay, well, pressure plate's not working. I don't know why. Oh. 3, 2, 1, cut here. So I just did our first test and everything seems to be working very well. We are back to making dried kelp. Now, I've actually decided to start using the kelp blocks to smelt. Just, it's so much better, and I've got such an abundance of kelp that it's like, it'd be silly not to. We can definitely still use bamboo for a lot of other things, but I think I will edit the system off camera to just make it a little bit more efficient, I think. But guys, I think that is probably going to do it for today's episode. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, have a good one. This is iJevin. Peace out, everybody.